In today's video, we'll see animals that are so rare you'll be lucky to see one in the flesh during your lifetime. All these animals are at the brink of extinction, and although conservation efforts are on their way, it's only just a matter of time before these animals cease to exist altogether. So let's get to know them while we still can. Do you know any rare animals in your country? Let us know down in the comments. Number 10. Bengal tiger. Bengal tigers are one of the rarest of the big cats. They are only found in India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Bhutan. The biggest threat to their numbers is poaching, and seconded by the loss of their habitat. Also, their beautifully patterned pelts are common black market commodities. The dawn of the 19th century sparked the height of the conflict between tigers and humans. Due to the expansion of human territories, we unwittingly encroached into traditional tiger habitat. Attacks on human villages became more frequent that local leaders ordered the hunt for the tigers. Scientists theorized that human-tiger conflict came upon because the tigers followed the herds of animals that humans transported. Today, it's estimated that only 2,500 tigers are left in the wild. Conservation efforts continue to persist and fight against poaching and the increasing demand for their remains in the black market. Doctors are breeding them in captivity and training them to ensure their survival on their eventual release back into the wild, but they are not out of the woods yet. They still need our help and cooperation for their continued survival. Number 9. St. Lucia racer. With only 20 living out in the wild, this is definitely one of the rarest snakes on the planet. Their insanely tiny population can only be found on the Caribbean island of St. Lucia, on an island called Maria Major. This non-venomous snake has an interesting yet tragic history. Back when their species were thriving, the Asian mongoose was introduced to their island via boats that docked in their port. This invasive species began encroaching on the snake's habitat and slowly drove them to near extinction. In fact, scientists thought that the species was already extinct, but they were lucky to spot this shy snake in 1973. Its brown with sometimes yellow vertebral stripes is telling of their identity. The snake's average length is about 123.5 centimeters and mostly feeds on rodents and small lizards. Fauna and Flora International, or FFI, is currently partnering with Jurel Wildlife Conservation to help increase the numbers to preserve this snake. They have a donation drive and cause-specific site that tells more information about how to help revive the species. The plan is to help reinstate them in their natural habitat, similar to the integration of Antiguan races in the past. Number 8. Addax. In the Sahara lives a rare creature known for its white fur and unique horn, the addax. Also known as screwhorn antelopes, their number ranges from 90 to 500 in the wild. With their coloring, they seem to blend into the environment, making them one of the most elusive creatures on Earth. The male stands 115 centimeters tall, while the smaller female stands at 110 centimeters, just as tall as an average teenage human. Many threats make the addax vulnerable. One of them is a parasitic infestation that has already once decimated their population, and of course, poaching and hunting. As one of the rarest creatures to inhabit this harsh desert landscape, many private collectors want them, and there's also a booming trade on addax horns in the black market. Early conservation programs resulted in a successful captive breeding program for addaxes. To date, over 600 addaxes are raised in captivity and are being prepared to be released in the wild. Even though conservation efforts have ensured that the species will not go extinct, the addaxes in the wild will still be in danger if hunting is not regulated. Number 7. Northern bald ibis. This ancient bird is facing its toughest challenge since it was birthed into existence 1.8 million years ago. Hunting coupled with pesticide poisoning on this migratory bird's foraging grounds is the main cause of its near extinction. With its dwindling population, it is estimated that there are only 250 left of their species in the wild. The northern bald ibis has glossy feathers, with almost bronze green and purple iridescence. It is one huge bird, standing at a maximum height of 80 centimeters. Its face and neck have no feathers, and it can be described as red and wrinkly like a turkey. Before its decline, its population was widespread across Europe, the Middle East, and Northern Africa. However, with pollution and the rapid disappearance of their foraging grounds, the bald ibis nearly became extinct. Luckily, conservation efforts came to the rescue, and captive breeding with the purpose of repopulation is being pushed forward in Turkey, Austria, Italy, Spain, and northern Morocco. The breeding program can be described as a semi-wild breeding colony with the purpose of reintroduction to their natural habitat. Number 6. Asian unicorn. In 1993, the Worldwide Fund for Nature, together with the Vietnamese Ministry of Forestry, discovered the remains of an unknown animal in the Vu Quang Nature Reserve. It was unidentified, but further studies of the bone structure of the animal revealed that it was an entirely new species. They named it Shaola, translated as Vu Quang ox. It was the largest mammal to be discovered in that area of the Annamite range. Like its namesake, the mythical unicorn, it is very shy and withdrawn. The first photograph of Shaola was taken in 1993 in captivity, while the last photographed wild Shaola was recorded in 2013 via a motion-triggered camera. Shaolas are active both during daytime and nighttime, but it has a habit of resting on middays. Like giraffes, they like to use their tongues to pull on the leaves and chew. Their reproductive cycles are unknown and mostly derived from observations reported by the villagers. They are declared to be critically endangered due to the loss of habitat and their proximity to the human population. Although there have been many attempts to breed the animal in captivity, there is little success, and the rare, almost once in a blue moon sighting of this animal is proving to be a challenge for conservationists. Number 5. Green sea slug. This is probably one of the rarest animals in the world, and if not that, it's definitely the strangest. The green sea slug, known as the Eastern Emerald Elysia, is part animal and part plant. This sea slug has a bright green color and can survive through photosynthesis. They survive by eating algae and then using the algae's chloroplasts for photosynthesis in a process called kleptoplasty. The adult is usually bright green in color and is found on the east coast of the United States. The larvae, or juvenile sea slug on the other hand, may appear to be brownish-red in color as their digestive tract is still not fully developed. They mainly live in salt flats, coastal marshes, and creeks with a depth of about 0.5 meters. They resemble nudibranchs in appearance, but belong to the family of mollusks. The adult sea slug is a hermaphrodite, which means that they can produce both eggs and sperm within their body. However, they are unable to fertilize themselves. They need to find another sea slug for fertilization. So next time you go out swimming, you may want to keep your eye out for this unique sea creature. Number 4. Amur leopard. While many big cat species are in decline worldwide, the Amur leopard is one of the rarest and most endangered of them all. Amur leopards have a relatively long lifespan, living anywhere from 10 to 15 years in the wild and more than 20 years in captivity. Unfortunately, like all animals on this list, the Amur leopard population faces many threats, including habitat destruction, illegal poaching, conflicts with humans, and a lack of genetic variation. The Amur leopard's territory is limited, thus they often engage in inbreeding that weakens their genetic makeup, making them defenseless against degenerative diseases. They are very susceptible to the illegal trading of their fur and bones too. They can be distinguished from their cousins by their pale and cream-colored fur. They have a pale and almost yellowish fur coat in winter, while summer brings a bright and vivid tone to their coloration. Number 3. Philippine crocodile. When we say crocodiles, people often have misconceptions about them and, more often than not, exhibit violent behavior towards them. In the past, Philippine crocodiles could be found all over the islands of Luzon, Dalupiri, and Mindanao. However, human-encroached deforestation, illegal trade, poaching, dynamite fishing, and human hostility led to the rapid decrease of their population. They are listed as one of the world's most endangered crocodiles, with just over 100 in the wild and an even smaller number in captivity. It is a small crocodile endemic to the Philippines with an average length of 1.5 meters and an average weight of 190 kilograms. Luckily for this species, the Mabua Foundation and other sustainable captive breeding programs made a move to preserve this majestic reptile. They have hatching areas where the eggs are protected against invasive species like tropical fire ants that eat the crocodile's eggs in the wild. Number 2. Amoy tiger. The South China tiger, or the Amoy tiger, is the most endangered big cat species in the world, with zero population in the wild and the survivors are all in captivity. Their decline was credited to the anti-pest campaign of the Chinese government in the 1950s, where the government considered them as pests that hunt livestock, so they ordered the hunting and killing of this endemic species. Then, deforestation, uncontrolled hunting, and reduction of prey led them to extinction in the wild, with as low as 30 to 40 recorded sightings in 1987. In 2001, despite various camera traps set up to scout the tiger reserve, they failed to catch even a single shadow. Conservation efforts and protection laws were not implemented until 1973. An NGO called Save China's Tigers, with the support of the country's State Forestry Administration, developed a plan to reintroduce the tigers into large enclosures. Currently, these endangered tigers can only be found in captivity. Number 1. Vaquita. The vaquita, a species of porpoise endemic to the Gulf of California, is by far the rarest animal in the world today, with a mind-blowing 10 individuals in the wild and none in captivity. And as predicted, they were pushed to near extinction by illegal gillnet fishing, marine pollution, and the growing shark population in the area. Vaquitas are a small species of porpoise and can be described as foragers. Their diet mainly contains crustaceans, squids, and fish. They are often seen in pairs, alone, or with their calf. They have dark eye rings and are commonly mistaken for dolphins because of their coloring and body structure. Conservationists are racing against time to prevent the extinction of the vaquitas. They are preventing global trade, gillnet fishing, and the discharge of marine pollutants near their habitats. Aside from that, Navy ships patrol the area regularly to ensure that proper implementation of conservation is being followed. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. Like the video if you do, and leave a comment. Also, make sure to check out the channel's other amazing content. And as always, thanks for watching.